Slovenia's EMA 2017 has come to an end, and Eurovision 2005 star Omar Naber has won. Shall we talk about it? You guys, ahead of tonight's final, a lot of people did not have this on their radar. People were talking about Be Cool, or as we say, BQL, and Raven and Nika. But people were not mentioning Omar Naber, who competed in 2005. But he, like a stealth bomb, came out of nowhere and blew it up. He definitely had the best voice of the evening, regardless of whether you liked the song or not. He delivered vocally. I thought the other acts, particularly Be Cool, who I was watching quite closely, just weren't as on, whereas he nailed it, particularly in his recap. He was so loose and happy and free. The song is not my cup of tea. If I want musical theater, I don't go to Eurovision. I go to the West End. I go see Legally Blonde. I go on YouTube and watch Hairspray. I don't want it in EMA 2017. But you know what? He can sing, and he sold it to the Slovenians, so perhaps there's something here. Kristen.
Well, yeah. There's definitely something there, but maybe you're not asking the right person, because I couldn't hate on Omar Naber like ever. I mean, he could go on stage and burp the Slovenian national anthem dressed in a toilet seat, and I would still be like, yes.
That rolls
but
off
he
the
delivered.
Tongue.
What? The song was fine. No, actually, his former, when he was performing the first time, I thought it lacked power, but like you said, vocally he was on point. He was the best vocalist of the night, hands on. But then in the encore, when he had won, there was so much power in the song, a power that wasn't there before. And I was like, damn, keep that going, and you're going places. He's going to the final if he keeps it, as powerful as he did in his, encore performance.
Yeah, it's quite an old-fashioned kind of ballad. And I don't like that kind of music, but I think a lot of people will like it. And I know it's a very ballad-heavy year this year, but I think he's offering something quite unique. I mean, for a start, he's a male singer, but he is a very confident and very powerful singer, and I think he can deliver a lot. I was looking at the Wee Wee jury results, and we actually rated him bottom equal with Tim Corey's. And it's kind of interesting because I think Tim had bad vocals in a good song, whereas the general response was that Omar had brilliant vocals and his song wasn't as great. And I saw a comment, I think it was on Twitter, someone saying, what if you paired Omar with Tim's song? It would have been this probably quite a big pop performance. But what we actually saw at the national final is he did actually bring a lot more to the performance. So what was perhaps a little flat in the semi-final, suddenly it came to life a bit more, and I can see it working, and if things go well, I can see him finally getting to the Eurovision final.
Yeah, he's going to need some good staging. I think the staging in Slovenia was a little flat. It felt a little empty. And yes, he's got the big voice to fill the stage, but at Eurovision, you're going to have an even bigger stage, and you're going to have to fill it not just with your voice, but with some visuals. It was just bland to me visually. There were some lights, and there was a stage, and there was a man singing really nicely. If we draw a comparison to Junior Eurovision, there were a lot of ballads, but Maryam Mamedashvili, she brought a Broadway number, and she won. So maybe you're right. There are a lot of ballads this year, but A, he has a penis, and B, his ballad isn't the modern screaming diva ballad. It is a dude on the stage slaying a story. He's on his way to Kyiv.
The one thing I remember about his staging is it started in black and white and then went to colour for the chorus, and it would flip back and forth, so it wasn't sort of like the beginning and the end. It would be verses were in black and white, the chorus was in colour. And I think that actually had a negative effect because it made the verses seem really boring. And then when the chorus came along, I don't think it gave it the kick that they were really intending. The entertainment value all came from him and his his presence and his showmanship. So I really hope they ditch that for Kyiv, because I don't think that it does any favors for the song.
And it did worry me, actually, because during his first performance, there was one vocal warble, and it just happened to be in the recap clip. And so when that came on, I was like, "Ooh, how unfortunate!" But once the jury started voting, clearly they looked over that, because he killed it with the jury. It was just Omar after Omar. But Kristen, who else impressed you? Be Cool. They were second.
Yeah, like I said in the Vivi jury, I mean, they're sweet guys, but vocally they were really shaky. And the song for me was a wee bit repetitive. It was always the same thing over and over again. But they were charming, and I understand why they came in second.
And they, of course, won the televote, Robin.
Yeah, they were one of my favorites, and I was sort of thinking they might win. But yeah, I'd have the same criticism. Their song was quite repetitive, and they brought more to it with different singers and different layers. And then there was also the issue of, we've seen this in other national finals, where you have two men singing a love song, and it's not clear if they're singing to each other, or if one of them's singing to the girl and the other one's his bro backing him up, or whether they're both singing it to the same girl and there's a weird love triangle going on. But they're brothers, so that was a bit like, I'm not sure what's going on there.
They're brothers.
Oh, this puts a whole new
spin
spin on it, because at one point they were standing butt cheek to butt cheek. The dude got up from the piano and stood against the other dude, and I was like, I ain't never seen this move. I don't know what's going on.
And they're like gazing into each other's eyes at one point. It felt like the song was really written for one person, and they just sort of awkwardly made it fit for two people, and it wasn't quite working.
And in third place overall was Raven, ahead of the contest when I had just heard the 30-second snippets. She was my favorite by far. I thought this was going to be an Aminata Sabadogo style song, but I was a little underwhelmed. I think it was just a tad boring, and I'm not sure that vocally she held it this evening. I remember lots of close-up shots of her teeth, and I was just looking to see if any food was stuck, because I wasn't really feeling the song. I liked the light show and how she stood there and all those lights kind of zapped her near her uterus, like the power of life, either shooting in or shooting out. I can't remember. But yeah, this, in terms of the 30-second snippet to now, this was disappointing for me.
I was bored the whole time. I wasn't feeling it. Sorry.
Yeah, same. I can't even think how that song went. And a lot of them I have sort of still now stuck in my head, whereas that one, all I can remember is her pink hair. But then I'm thinking, is it that girl with the pink hair, or was it the other girl with the pink hair? So
we should probably mention the jury runner-up. That was Flower in the Snow from Nushka. This was from another era. Great voice. I thought vocally she was very sound. She had Norma Jean's Blackbird on her ear. She clearly supports Finland. But the song just let her down. It wasn't Eurovision ready, friendly. It was bland, even with all that power.
It reminded me of Gina from Hungary, which was just a really pleasant song sung by a really pleasant sort of older lady singer. And I can see why that sort of thing appeals to juries, but you want a song that's going to appeal to everyone, not just jury bait. Although you could say that Omar was also a jury favourite, but I think he'll have broader appeal for the general Eurovision audience as well.
Especially the fan, because he is, people know him. He's not just an obscure face, that surfaces during the national finals and then nothing after that. People know who he is.
And he's given it a few attempts in the national selection. He's wanted to come back for many years, and he's finally done it. And we always applaud those who get up, dust themselves off, and come back. Omar, you slay.
I was kind of disappointed about how Sellout was not hitting it off with the juries. I was like, guys, come on. That was like the most fun song of the Slovenian.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I said it.
The ska song. Look, I applaud them for doing the mannequin challenge, but beyond that needs to go, needs to grow. This reminds me of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones from the late 90s, if anyone else were the same age. This is just old and dated, and they didn't bring a new twist on it. There was no new twist, no new spin, and so it just felt watered down to me.
If it ain't broken, why fix it?
Well, that's what we think and what she thinks, but what do you think? You can let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Okay, make sure to subscribe.
And give us a like.
We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.